Hello, my crafty creative friends. How are you guys doing out there today? I am thinking about going to do one of those art pieces with reclaimed jewelry. Repurposed, reloved jewelry. And I just thought I'd come on because I'm prepping some of it to make sure I've got it all clean and all that kind of good stuff. And so I wanted to tell you, now the aluminum foil, it does make a difference. You do need to have whatever bowl that you have aluminum foil wrapped around it. And it's said to make sure you don't get a hole in the aluminum foil, because then, you know, the reaction won't go on. So now I used coarse kosher salt. And it's a tablespoon of salt and a tablespoon of baking soda. And then you pour in about a cup of water. You want it to be hot, but not boiling. Now that is the reaction that the water does with the salt and the soda. So you want to make sure that you get this stirred around and melted completely. Basically, when it stops fizzing, it's melted. So now, a couple things you need to know about doing this with older jewelry, and I've already had it once. When you put older pieces in, can you see the one? Well, there's yeah, this one. It came out. I did have it in the water, and I've got it here, so I will be putting those back together. But that will happen, so you need to watch for that, because it's glue. You know, they're glued in, and when you do this, you could possibly mess up with the glue. Now, you see this one here. That's rhinestones, but they are just really tarnished. So we're going to put that in there. I'm going to leave that for a few minutes. And I wanted to show you a few that I've already done. So I did this one. And then this one's much darker. This one's not been done yet. So it brings the life back to them. So there was that one. Now this one, I didn't notice a huge amount. But this one is the washed one, and it is brighter, and the stones are reacting a lot better to the light. So it does just bring them back to light, and it does a nice wash. Isn't that adorable? It does a nice wash on the enamel things. I had no idea this is cloisonne. It was just gunked. And they're very pretty pieces. Yeah, so I've got bubbles going on in here, so that's always nice. This is the second time, that's why all of these things are out. This is the second time that I've done it, but I see that, I don't know if you can see this, all of the green that's on my because I haven't actually rinsed these yet, and I probably should, because I imagine that reaction. Here is one of the rhinestones that I did that looked just like the first one I put in. And you can see how nice and clean the backs are. This is missing some rhinestones and stuff, but... and then here is one other one that I did. Again, this is the washed one, this is the unwashed one. And it just seems like you get more dancing with the and this metal is got a tarnish to it, where this one is nicely silver. Where this one almost is black on the little tips. So I think I need to up you a little bit. There we go. I had to have my camera down to load it. So yeah, I just look at, and now here is some beads that I can tell are a little gooey. So I'm going to stick those in there too. And we're going to see how that works. This latest acquisition here was actually just given to me by my daughter's grandmother. My daughter, I inherited her from a wedding. So, but she's mine. And, but her biological mother, there we go. I want to see how it's going to do on like these little metal buttons. So there's one. Let's see, do we have another one? There were a lot of things that I didn't have doubles on, but more than not, I did have doubles, but I'm not seeing. Had some pretty cameos. Let's see how it does on that. Look at this, how that black is around there. That's just tarnish. So let's throw that in there. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this button in. I think there is another one of these buttons in here somewhere. Somewhere. But you know, you guys got to realize, sometimes I wear my gloves, but I know this person, you know, and she's not a dirty person. So yeah, so I'm just, I want to see how these, well, the rhinestones have definitely popped a bit. I've got to first figure out how this goes. So this goes like this. It's still kind of black, but it is getting silverier. So we're going to leave that in there. Let's see. And I am helping them out. See, now these beads, I'm not going to leave them on the string that they're in, but boy, they are just clear as a bell now. There was like brown centers and gooey stuff in between and things like that. So you guys probably would want to use your gloves anytime you're messing with this stuff. Anytime. I'm going to go ahead and drop this one in here. You can see how black that back is. So I'm going to throw that one in there too. I'm not sure how long this stays. Just helping it out a little bit. It's already gotten a lot better. You know how long you get the reaction for? I just kind of kept going until my water was dirty. And you can see how dirty this water is getting. And I mean, you saw me pouring it. It gets stuff off. It definitely does get stuff off. And I'm going to go ahead and throw these items that I didn't clean to show you the difference. I went ahead and throw those in there. So basically that's all I wanted to show you for right now, was just how to clean this stuff and how to get ready for it. I don't know yet what I'm going to do, but yeah. I'll bring you along for the ride whenever I figure it out, okay? But this is a great way to clean any vintage antique jewelry, things like that. Just remember that the warm water and the thing that's going on in there can loosen the stones. So, you know, don't just pour your water out. As you're pulling your pieces out, notice that there's not a stone, and you know, then go for it. I'm gonna rinse all these off, let them completely dry, and then I will do what repairs I can do with the items, and we'll just go from there. Is that the, yeah, that's the clean one. Okay. This one, the chain is silver now. It was black. It was absolutely black, you know, because it's not, I don't think it's silver. But it's a very nice heavy chain for doing anything. But see, the chains are going to come in handy. I don't know yet what I'm going to make, but I've got a lot of ideas that I'm swirling around in my head. So, yeah. It definitely brings those rhinestones back to life. Let's see the first one I put in there. If we're... Look how silver it is now. It's still not like, you know, silver, but it's a lot better than it was. But, you know, some things are just not going to get much better than they are, because who knows how old these things are. You know, you can tell sometimes by the clasps. This one, the clasp is broken, so I don't know. If it's a lobster clasp, those didn't really start until around the 70s, 1970s. So anything with a lobster clasp, it might be vintage, which is supposed to be over 50 years old, and antique is supposed to be 100 years old. Now this is in jewelry, but they still say that the words are kind of mismatched. You know, people use them without really knowing, you know, what creates that age, or what ages those words are really in telling. And not that that's a bad thing. It's just in the jewelry world anyway, like at the sale places and stuff, if it's over 50, they will call it, what's the word? If it's over 50, they will call it, oh my God, vintage. If it's over 100, they will call it antique. But, you know, they got to make sure they got all their I's dotted and T's crossed and stuff like that. We're not that big into it. I was just telling you, because I've been doing some research and stuff on it. So, yeah. So, I'm just going to be sitting here playing with this stuff for a while. So, I will talk to you guys later. Till next time. Bye.